Hi everybody! Today I'm doing a review of Happily Ever After by Kiera. This is a book that contains a series of short novellas and also some scenes from inside the books and an epilogue to the book and also a preview of the siren. So this is just full of stuff. There's lots of things in here. Let me give you a little intro as to the exact content. So inside this book, the novellas are The Queen, which stars Amberly in a look into her life before she married King Clarkson. The Prince, a story about Maxon before he started the selection. The Guard, which is about Aspen during the selection and during around books 1 and 2, I believe. The Favorite, which is about Marley and her love with Officer Woodwork, I believe. Then there's Scenes from Celeste. The other ones are close to 100 pages each. Scenes from Celeste is about 40 pages and it has 3 chapters: The Arrival, The Kiss, and The Departure, that talks about her life while she's in the selection. Then there's The Maid, that's some stories told from Lucy's perspective. Then there's After the One, that's kind of like an epilogue that shows America and Maxon during Maxon's birthday party. And then Where Are They Now?, which has a few kind of like parting thoughts as to where some of the characters ended up. And then there's a sneak peek at The Siren, which is a new release for Kiera coming out in January 2016. So just in case you've never heard of Kiera, maybe I should have mentioned this first. All of these novellas are set during the Selection series. The Selection series is The Selection, The Elite, The One, The Heir, and an upcoming one, an upcoming book, I believe, called The Crown, which is going to be the 5th and final book in the series. These are set all between the first 3 books and a little bit after the 3rd book, but none of them are set during the series of The Heir. There aren't any novellas yet. I don't know if there are any planned. I don't think so, set during The Heir. So I was so excited about this because I really enjoyed the Selection series. When I'm describing the Selection series to someone, I say it's basically The Bachelor meets dystopia, and I just think that that's a good comparison of what the overall arc is. And it's just a very fun idea where normal girls are in a competition to win the prince's heart. And there's also a set with rebels and fighting, and there's the new America. I do think that Kiera, her writing has improved steadily throughout her whole series, and I think The Heir was written really nicely. But overall, I don't think it's the writing that makes these books fun for me. It's the characters and the emotions, because I do really feel what these characters are feeling, and that's why I really enjoy this series. So I was very excited when this was coming out because I hadn't read any of the previously released novellas, because they were released one after the other through ebooks, and then there was one bind up that had some of the stories. I don't believe all of them. So anyway, now let me share you my thoughts on this book. Beware, I'm not going to give any specific spoilers that are shown in this book, but there is going to be general spoilers involving the first 3 books of the series, so you have to have read those 3 before you continue on. I had never read any of the novellas singularly until this came out. I read them all at the same time in this bind-up, and I really enjoyed reading them, but I think that if I had read them separately, one after the other, I would have been disappointed and may not have been interested in this book. Because out of the novellas in this story, I feel like only 2 of them were really spectacular, and I felt like the rest weren't that exciting for me. The ones that I loved the most are The Guard, that involves Aspen, which is America's first love, and his time at the castle, and The Maid, that covers Lucy. I think that their love story, Aspen and Lucy's love, is really beautiful, and I liked seeing the subtle details of Aspen's love for America, and then the budding friendship that he has with Lucy, and then seeing in The Maid Lucy's perspective on how she cares for Aspen. I think that it was put together in a really beautiful way, and I really enjoyed it. Especially reading The Guard and then The Maid, I thought that together they really complemented each other. But my least favorite stories were definitely The Queen and The Prince. I thought that they kind of lacked emotion. I thought that it was morely like a description of what was going on, rather than really understanding what those characters were feeling during those difficult parts of their life. I do think that it was cool seeing Maxon's thoughts when he was comforting America the first night that they met, but I don't think that in general I really understood either characters much better. Then the short chapters involving Celeste I thought were very enlightening. Still not as good as The Guard or The Maid, but the stories about Celeste, like you get some really interesting insights into her character, especially the one scene where her and Maxon are kissing up against a wall. If you remember in, I believe, The Elite, that's where America runs into them, like basically like making out, like groaning, almost naked kind of thing. And seeing Celeste's thoughts during that scene was really good. I very much enjoyed that. And there were a few scenes that we did not know about that transpired in the novella The Favorite that also made it very interesting, because you got into a glimpse of how Maxon helped them. There's one scene at the end of that novella that was very interesting that involves the legislations that Maxon was going to put into effect after he made king. He did go through with that, and then you see how that affects Marley and Officer Woodwork. So that was very fascinating. I would also say that the illustrations in this book are a big plus. Let me show you a few of my favorites. I loved going through them and seeing it. Also, there's a map on the first inside cover, so you get to see more of where everybody's from. This is Amberley with Clarkson. This is America and Aspen together. My real favorite one though was Aspen and Lucy. This one's my favorite. This is Aspen and Lucy together, and I just thought it was so nice. Overall, I would recommend this book for people that enjoy the Selection series and want to know more specifically about Aspen and Lucy. I think that's the real standout in this. Also, a little bit of the info on Celeste was very enlightening, but overall, if you were a fan of Amberley and wanted to know Maxon's perspective, I feel like it lets me down a little bit there, but overall, it's great, and I loved seeing the Where Are You Now sections, and I was very pumped to read the first chapter of The Siren, because I am so looking forward to that. And the cover of The Siren just looks beautiful, and I can't wait for that to come out. So thank you guys so much for watching. That was my book review of Happily Ever After by Kiera Cass, illustrated by Sandra Sue, and I will see you all very soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more book videos. There's also a lot of lifestyle videos coming up, and I'll see you very soon.